Welcome, guys, to Government Cheese Time, another episode, another Saturday. We're brought to you by the Anti-Watch Club, a 501c3 charity that utilizes drop culture to support veterans, LEOs, first responders by providing monetary, social, humanitarian, and emotional support to those in need. Um, if you go to their website, you can see they have hats like the one that I'm wearing, a T-shirt like the one that I'm wearing, the flag behind Jason, um, straps. They have a lot of stuff. If you didn't know, some of the things that they're working on is they're trying to release watch rolls and the we got plate, and they're trying to release some happy socks they call it, which is going to be for storing uh, storing straps and stuff like that. I think it's great, especially for those of you that have a lot of straps. A quick way to store them, and the name is amazing, right? So, conversation starter. But yeah,
Wash your socks.
how you doing, Jason?
I'm doing pretty good, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I know you had a busy week. My week was actually pretty relaxed.
I'm happy for
This,
you.
yeah, this week, Fort Riley does this thing where sometimes we do, they call like foundational days,
Mhm.
where we're supposed to team build, stay out away from work, team build, do like things together, work out, resilience training type of thing as a team.
Mhm.
And typically you go to work late because a lot of times you're going to places or scheduling training with civilians that don't start until 9 minimum, the earliest. So you go to work late, you do this work, and then basically after that you're off. And those days typically land on a Friday. And then we do Tuesdays. They're kind of the same thing, but giving back to the person. So instead of you go late to work and do training on this one, you take the whole morning to do stuff for yourself, and things like that. And then you come back to work late. So we had those 2 days the same week.
Nice.
So we had Tuesday, basically, we didn't do anything. And then Friday, I was out by like 11, 11:30. So yeah, pretty easy
For,
week.
for those of you people that think it's more difficult when you're in the military, I would tell you that it is not
Yeah.
at times. Um, I would think that I would say that after you retire or get out, you'll look and realize that there was an awful lot of time where you got paid just to exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have a thing like that called Rope Yarn Wednesdays,
Yeah.
where every Wednesday after like lunch, unless you had duty, everyone
Mhm.
could jet, right? As long as the work was all caught up and everything. So rope yarn Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. But I think in the morning it's probably better.
Yeah. 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 Because then it gives you the excuse to like, you do all these things. And then the leader is like, I'll just go home. And then you
Yeah.
just go home early. So it works out pretty good. It works out pretty good. I like it. It was relaxing week, contrary to yours.
Yeah. Mine was good. I
Yeah,
mean, anytime you can be gainfully employed is a good time. So no
yeah.
gripes.
So wrist check, wrist check. We're not gonna
Yeah.
forget this time. And glass check. So drinking black coffee early in the morning, my second cup, and then on the wrist I have a G-Shock
Mm,
Casio in metal with the green dial,
mhm.
and
I like that.
I got it on a D-Log strap, elastic strap, and yeah, that's what I got. What you got?
I'm drinking brown coffee,
Yeah,
my third cup this morning,
yeah,
and I'm on the wrist. I got my Grand Seiko SBGX 335.
yeah.
Oh man, I love this thing. But
And then, um, Cody, what are you drinking? What are you wearing?
So of course, black coffee. It's only my second cup, and I have the Jack Ryan on right now.
oh yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, Jack Ryan. You posted a picture about your Jack Ryan. You had it on the leather strap.
Yes, it is on our Zane's
Yeah.
OG brown leather strap that really
Oh man,
brings the watch out.
dude, that brown, the dark brown with the black case looks amazing. I don't know what it is, but it looks really, really good. It just, I saw it, and I was like, oh man, that looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Has some nice color gradient to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
certain areas that are really nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I just love it.
yeah. But yeah, that's this. Anyone had any new watch alerts or any cool things happening this week?
My far and sweet Chrono Vice got delayed, so I'm a little upset about that.
Oh
Oh,
man, that's the worst.
yeah, yeah.
That happened with this, man. Like FedEx kept telling me, "Oh, it's still in transit," and so I went to my designated third party option to pick it up, right? Because I was getting
Yeah.
held,
Yeah.
and the lady's like, "Oh yeah, we got a package for you." I'm like, FedEx, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so they're not delayed by shipping. They are delayed from the email. They were not happy with some of the parts turning out, so they kind
Oh.
of redid it all.
Yeah.
So that
That's
pushed.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Nice.
by July 17th they should be
Yeah.
shipped out.
Some good comms. I always appreciate
Yeah.
when a company's just honest and like, look, we don't like this stuff, and
Yeah.
or we didn't
And-
like the
and-
shipping or something weird.
And they're doing QA, right? So that's another good thing. So it sucks though, because like you're building up to it, you want it, you expecting it, and then something happens, even though it's a good something, you're like, man, I don't know, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's pretty cool. Well, I'll tell you a story.
This is gonna be good.
Matt, I've been trying to I moved some pieces, and then I've been trying to get into Zodiac, right? And I talked to Jason and Cody about it, but it's crazy because I always narrow it down to like 2-3 models, and as of yesterday, I was in 2, and then it's like I'm like, okay, I'm leaning more this way, and this whole week has been like, I think about it 3 hours later, and I'm like, maybe let me go back and check it out, and then I start thinking, well, maybe I do this other one. And right now, I'll tell you, I'm between the Seacron and I'm between the ceramic Super Seawolf, the one that it looks all dark, all black, but it has that shine to it because it has that ceramic case, and then that dark blue dial. And I'm between that and the Seacron, and very similar watches. Only the obviously the Seacron is the chronograph, and then it has that dark blue, and it's steel. The case is completely steel, but I keep going back and forward, and I just can't figure it out. I'm telling you, like it. I text Jason. I'm like, okay, I'm leaning towards this one now, and then I go take a shower, and I'll be like thinking in the shower because I do thinking, not singing, and then I'll be like, okay, so maybe I'll do the Seacron. I just can't figure it out. I'm telling you.
Have you checked out the LHD Destro one? I think it's on the Huckberry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I checked the LHD. I do like the LHD, and because that was one of the things that I talked to Jason about, is that when I was on my podcast, I was talking about I want a GMT, but I only need to track a secondary time, so not 3. So I want a diverse bezel. And then they came out with that, and I was like, all right, I don't know what to do. But then I have 2 GMTs, and I don't want to get another GMT. So I'm like thinking about those other 2, and I'm like destroyed, man. I just can't figure it out. So I don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
You might have to get your hands on like both of them and get that tactile interaction.
Yeah.
Determine what you
I
want.
don't think you can go wrong with either choice.
Yeah. And then what kills me is then Spencer from Whiskey and Watches wore his ceramic Seawolf, Super Seawolf, and took a picture, and I was like, oh man, that looks so good. That looks so good.
Yeah.
That's it. But
I can
then
tell
3
you,
hours
man.
later,
I told you about that guy I work with, that retired naval officer who,
yeah,
I introduced him to Zodiac just because he has a bunch of first generation Christopher Wards,
yeah,
and he loves them. Like and he told me a funny story about how he had so much free time on his hands, and his wife basically talked him into like, hey, you should start looking in like to clothes like business casual and like
yeah.
all this sort of stuff. So he's an older gentleman, so he's doing that stuff, and he got into watches. Like he found watches through like some of these fashion blogs or whatever, right? So he found Christopher Ward, and he liked what they were about, all that stuff. He has a couple of first generation Christopher Wards. So we started talking about watches or whatever, and I was telling him about Zodiac, and I was telling him about the history about Zodiac, blah 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, they just released, because I just came back from Wind Up. I was like, yeah, they had this cool ceramic bezel. It's like the deep ocean, and it's like kind of fume, and it's got like just enough blue there and the light. And I'm like, and so he's like, awesome. So he goes home, and his wife was talking to him or something, and he's like, yeah, there's this cool company, Zodiac, blah 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 blah. Bro, he comes back to after holiday break. He's like, dude, my wife bought me that ceramic Zodiac for Christmas. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. He's like, I'll wear it in tomorrow. I'm like, okay. He goes, I didn't know if you'd be here or not. So he wore it in. And the first thing I saw it at Wind Up, right?
Yeah.
But it's busy, and I wasn't trying to tie Mike up and all that stuff. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But I actually got to like hold it for like 15 minutes. And I was like, man, this thing's really freaking cool. And so I know you like that Seacron with a similar kind of dial.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, like, I know the build quality is good. I know they make a good watch. And then I'm like, I bet you that dial is super, super sick.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. I'm gonna have to sit down, call Mike, sit down with Mike, and then just have him talk to me about both, and then which one he sells.
Bro, you could drive to Texas in like what, like 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, Texas, Dallas specifically is very, very close. It's probably about 6 hours.
Go down there and check them out.
Yeah, that's what I need to do, because I'm telling you.
And wear your uniforms.
Don't wear your uniform.
No, not to his office, man.
I may have heard someone on some podcast say, "Hey, look, if you want a Rolex, you should just probably wear your uniform into the AD."
I have seen people do that, and it works. I have seen people do that, and it works. And I did say that.
I do think that would work best.
Yeah. Postal clerks like,
yeah. But to go see Mike, I don't. He already knows I'm in the military, but
I'm a combat mailman.
Yeah,
I need a Rolex.
I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But
yeah,
it's a conundrum, man. I'm telling you, it's an issue right now. So we'll see. I'm gonna get into them.
How many chronographs do you have?
No, I have no chronographs. The brew, but I'm moving the brew. So.
I think that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, I think you just did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And right now I feel like this has been talked out.
Yeah.
And then I'll
go. We're here for.
Yeah.
I like to provide emotional support and help you make positive decisions in your life.
That negatively affects your bank account.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Go buy it, Alex.
What does Alex say all the time? Debt is temporary. Drip is forever.
Drip is forever.
Drip is forever.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes. Grand Seiko will definitely attest to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's pretty much.
Speaking of drip, Alex, do you want to get into some of the weekly sit rep and the stuff we were discussing earlier?
Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
All right. So you can lead. These are your picks.
Yeah. So Nevada Grenchen released, and I don't know, for a lot of people that don't know about Nevada Grenchen is a really older company before the quartz crisis and all that stuff. And they actually released the Depth Master when the whole, challenge to go deeper in the water was starting. Rolex had the actual record at the moment. And then Nevada Grenchen released the Depth Master, which it was 1,000 meters, and they took it, and it stayed with them. The record stayed with them forever until Rolex released the Sea Dweller. So it was quite a bit, but they also had the claim to fame was the Antarctic, which it was kind of like an explorer watch and all that stuff. Anyway, they went down, they came back, they were reacquired basically relaunched, and now instead of releasing new watches, they're releasing their back catalog. And they released this Nevada Grenchen Analog Shift, Chronomaster Big Eye, and you know, for me, I feel like I like Nevada Grenchen. I'm a fan of Nevada Grenchen. I think Nevada Grenchen does some cool stuff. I admire that they bring in the whole back catalog back to the front and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like this dial, the proportions are not right. Maybe, I don't know. I feels like this dial has a lot of empty space.
Yeah. So I think, so, shout out to Mike Razak over at Blog to Watch. He always produces great articles and stuff. And obviously the photographs are wonderful, but I think, there's just too much white on this dial, right? So black and white, the absence of color. You have two of the primary colors over here on the sub dial, and this is timing, right? So usually the less amount of time is the more dangerous. I know that's not exactly what it is here, but if you went like red, yellow, and then blue, and then pick the second hand to be one of the colors based off of the two of the primary colors blended, I think that you would have had a winner. But I think that all this negative space and the white hands just throws the balance off a little bit. But I mean, it's cool looking. I like the bezel. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cody?
If they had gone with the white hands, the white face is just like, you have to ask yourself why. Like, what was the design reasoning for that? Because now for a quick glance, you're gonna be like, oh man, like I missed the outer hand because it's white on white.
That's so funny you say that, because we had some friends over yesterday, and my wife's friend's husband, he's my friend now too, but he can actually really paint. He paints cars professionally. This guy's an artist. Like, when I tell you artist, like legit artist. And he wanted to start oil painting, and one of his jokes was, or one of her jokes to him was, he should have started with a painting called White with various shades of white. And and I'm like, no, George wouldn't do that because he's a real artist. I would do that because I just have enough artistic talent to be dangerous. So I would cover up my flaws by doing something stupid and try to pass it off as real. I said, but George has too much artistic integrity. He would never do that.
Yeah. But
if they had changed the subdial at 3 o'clock to like red and with the red or black, red and black, that would make much more sense to have your quote unquote warning countdown.
Yeah.
Instead of blue, orange. I mean, it contrasts really well against the white, but it would have been much better if it went, in my opinion, black and red colors.
Yeah. Because we were even talking like, what was it, Alex? It was like yellow here, red for the shorter time, blue for the most time, or whatever it was. And then if they had done the color coordination at 5, whatever,
15,
on the bezel, that would have kind of thrown the balance off maybe of the bezel, but that would have been kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that bezel's pretty sweet.
I think it's funny because the same things that me and Jason pointed out before is the same things that Cody is pointing out. It's like, so it does make sense, it's, I don't know. It just, I don't think they really were trying to tell the time with this one.
Well, I mean, because like,
it's like, but why didn't you use broad arrow hands? Like that would have helped out tremendously.
Oh, you're right. And then the more it would have gave it more surface, right? So more chance to reflect the light, more chance at different angles to see where the hands are. That's a great point.
But their catalog's awesome. Their mecha quartzes go for $500-$600. They're simple watches. The Chronomaster is. I'm a fan of the Chronomaster. Broad dial tropical. Broad arrow tropical dial. That's it.
And I love this bezel.
It's clean.
I love it.
It's just clean.
No, definitely. I'm a fan of the Depth Master. Like a baby Panerai. But that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Okay, so on to Alex's next one. Boom.
Orient, yes. Orient did release the Mako's 40 millimeters, Mako 40s, I guess, 39.9. And this ones are obviously smaller in size, but they have a little bit of that whole going back to steel bezels and, a couple of, I guess, fun colors or different colors than what they typically produce, the typical blue, dark blue, red, stuff like that. So the one that you're seeing in your screen is a salmon. Then they have the kind of lilac or like a light purple, because
that's
obviously purple is the color of this year. And the Mako is one of those watches that a lot of people get at the beginning for divers when they're trying to get. They either choose Seiko or they go the Orient route. And I don't know. This feels really sporty, really simple.
I like it.
Just a take on going smaller in size, like Seiko has done with their Seiko 5s, but an Orient take. Very simple. Yeah, I like it.
It speaks to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I like it. It's simple, like you said. It's clean. It's not trying to be something it's not.
Yeah.
They know where they stand in the space, and they know what their demographic wants, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you were, I always kind of think back, like, say you're a young person and you just got out of college or high school or whatever, and you're trying to you have a job where you can wear a suit or some business casual. I think it's a nice, clean design. You can wear it to work and you can wear it to do other stuff in.
Yeah.
Always use your crap right. And I think that's right up that alley.
Yeah.
And I've always liked Orient's logo. I don't know. Normally I wouldn't like that much detail because it's small, but you can tell they really set it up, right? Like they work with the font to make Orient prominent. I don't know. They just do a good job with their font. I've always felt.
Yeah.
You guys think, you think it's a winner?
I think it's a winner for their price point, their what they're going for. It's bringing a watch that already a lot of people get, the Mako, into a smaller size, and I think it's definitely going to be a winner for them for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. All right, so we're going to move on to Alex's one of his favorite watch companies of all time.
Yeah. I mean, I like Oris. I do like Oris a lot. It's so I don't know. Maybe 2 years ago, I don't even remember when it was that they released the cotton candies the first time on bronze, and this is just their take on steel. Yeah, this is just their take on steel. It's basically the exact same watch on steel. I tell you, 100% is going to sell. 100% is going to be a hit.
For sure.
Yeah, because the colors are very light. It's the same colors that were there in the bronze. People loved them. I think that the ones that didn't get it because they thought I can't rock a bronze watch are going to get this one because this one is all steel, and it's, like I said, basically the same watch on steel. Oris it produces really good quality watches. They feel really good, and the price point is pretty good. So I think it's going to be a hit for everyone, especially this summer.
Super clean.
Yeah, it's one of those perfect summer watches. The price point is perfect for what it is for Oris. It's not going to break the bank. It's I'm a huge fan of Oris. I like them. Hopefully we can get Josh from Oris USA on our show.
For sure.
But I like them. I can't wait to check them out at Wind Up in New York. I love the cotton candy bronze one, like you said, because it just pops and it just really goes well together.
Oh. Yeah.
It's good color. I mean, the application, however they applied it to the dials, done really. Yeah. Sometimes you see some dials and you're like, man, it's like, looks kind of blotchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pretty consistent. Yeah. I appreciate it.
2550, 38 millimeters. 38 millimeters is with the trend of going down in size. So, you can't expect anything different. But yeah, I think it's going to be a hit
blue,
for sure.
Green or pink.
Yeah.
Then when
It's
you're
gonna
walking
be a
down the
hit for
street,
sure.
people are going to be like, "Oh, what's that watch?" You're like,
Yeah, yeah. And I would say this ones don't wear like the they're probably gonna wear a little bit bigger than the Aquas, because the Aquas wear smaller, a lot smaller.
Yeah.
This ones are gonna wear true to size probably, or maybe a 39. So
Yeah, that stainless steel bezel, man, really lets the dial just be the show.
Pop. Yep.
Yeah.
It really brings it out.
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it definitely brings it out. You know. Yeah.
So winner for you guys. You guys digging it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's gonna be a winner. Yeah.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I like it for what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Alex, this was I mean, it kind of just fell in our lap, so I don't know if it's really like we did any hard. I don't know if we did any hard hitting investigative journalism.
No hard hitting.
But you know, this kind of popped in our lap this week, and again, shout out to Blog to Watch. It's crazy when a piece of media does a better job of presenting the product than the company's website itself. We tried to use the company's website. We wanted to show it. We wanted to give Omega credit, but it's the most ungainly website we've ever tried to use in our lives. So we're like, well, Alex is like, let's just use the article from Blog to Watch. It's great. And it actually is really, really good. So shout out to David Breeden over there at Blog to Watch. It's a great little article. We're not affiliated with these guys in any way, but they obviously make it very easy to read stuff and learn about brands, and they have a deep connection. But Alex, you want to take it, or Cody, you want to take it? Because
let's let Cody, because Cody is we need to let Cody talk about Omega, you know.
My all-time favorite watch brand that will ever exist in mankind.
Nice.
So first we need to ask ourselves, did they follow Seiko and their Save the Ocean series with the color? Or was this planned out years ago on what they were already going to be doing for the 75th anniversary of Seamaster?
Yeah.
My opinion is, I don't think Omega does not do anything reactive. I think they are very proactive in how they do their watches, their releases. So I do think that they chose the blue long ago before Seiko came out with Save the Ocean. Everyone saw the memes on Instagram.
Yeah.
But dang, these are just as soon as they came out, like I fell in love. The blue Proploff is just, man, it's just, it's new world timer, which the details just phenomenal. But the biggest hit, and what I think is the very coolest feature, is on the Ultra Deep. They have that etching on the face.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Like
That's
Mariana
at the very
Trench.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like that detail alone is just, whew.
Yeah.
And of course, you're getting the same. It's just, they're beautiful, beautiful. I've yet to see one in person. I don't think the AD here in Savannah will get them anytime soon.
I don't know if I want to see one in person.
I will have to go and check one out for sure. But to me, the blues really pop, really go well, because it's not the traditional blue we've seen in the Seamaster before, where it's that brighter blue. This is a winner, hands down, 100%. This is a winner. I know the guys in AWWC are like, I don't like it.
I did see that a couple times. Yeah, I did see that a couple times.
Yeah,
I think I am the only one that loves Omega as much as I do in the group now. So I'm going to stay strong.
Yeah, when me and Alex were talking about it earlier, Alex had a really good point about how, you want to talk about it real quick, Alex, about how they tied some of the not so tied in pieces together real quick?
Yeah, I think like you know, like Cody was saying, you know, this was definitely a plan, you know, and I get it. You know, people, I was telling Jason, I feel like when Rolex did their anniversary for Submariner, you know, they released a different color and then they were attacked, right? So I feel like a lot of people are taking this as an opportunity to attack Omega, right? Because they want to be like, okay, so Now we're going to attack Omega because of what you guys said about Rolex. But this, to me, is like a plan to bring the family together, right? The whole Seamaster family. Because typically, when you say Seamaster, people are going to think about the 300M or the regular Seamaster. That's it. They're not going to mention Seamaster when they're talking about Planet Ocean, Ploprof. They're going to mention those names. They're not going to mention Aquaterra in the family of Seamaster, the World Timer, even though it says it on the dial. They typically don't. And this is a way to bring them together as hey, this is our Seamaster family, all of them, and kind of connect them. It's still differentiate because the blues are not the same. You get the same type of effect inside the blue, but you don't get the same blue. And they kind of match what the watch is for. You see the Ultra Deep is kind of darker. It's kind of rougher. It has
they're all done by depth rating.
And you look at
rates to the depth rating. Yeah.
Exactly. And you look at the Aquaterra and you see that lighter blue that looks a little bit more like a casual, dressy watch, like in the World Timer and stuff like that. This was definitely a planned effort to bring these watches together and connect them as a Seamaster family together, and what the variations are existing for, and I think that a lot of times, I get it. When people are seeing something being built up, I understand, they expect the design to change because a lot of people have opinions and they want the watches that they like to fit those opinions.
And, they want their watches that they like to be cooler than the watches that other people like. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna die on that hill, like, oh no, but I got a whole take on the Seiko thing, and then the color. But go ahead and finish, Alex.
No, yeah, but like a lot of times they're gonna say, it didn't change enough, but these watches haven't been, with the exception of maybe the Seamaster, the traditional Seamaster, the one that is, the 300 that is not the 300M, hasn't changed as much in design. But the other ones have changed a lot in design, and the Ploprof is technically has never really been touched in updating color and anything like that for a long time since it came out. So, you're looking at if these watches already have changed in case design and stuff like that in the last decade, or maybe less than that, you don't need to change the design every 5 years. That doesn't really make sense. So yeah.
You have a picture of the case back?
Oh yeah. So the article does a really good job of going in order of depth rating all the way down. So I was going to scroll through there. I just want to give a take real quick on the difference between this and Seiko Save the Ocean. As a guy who owned at least 5 Save the Oceans at one time, and a guy who's probably spent more time in the ocean than most people, seriously, no, it's a dead thing, right? Like me and Alex talked about. Alex is from Puerto Rico. Like the ocean's a big thing to him, right? And I knew that before I even started talking to him, because when you grow up on an island, I mean, how are you not connected to the ocean, right? And it's generational, right? Like your family probably made a living off the ocean for a while and all this other stuff, right? But Seiko's Save the Oceans are cool, and I like them. Dials are beautiful, totally capable watch for what you need it for. But they sporadically release those things here and there, right? And they'll be on a Samurai, they'll be on the Tuna, they'll be on this, they'll be on that. It's not one big release of a collection that ties across everything, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why this is great for Omega. The thought process of doing the color gradients to the depth rating of the watch, genius, right? Yeah. And that's the beauty of the ocean. So as a guy who's been down in the Caribbean and seen that bluish gray water, right? I've been there when the water turns from this like funky light blue, and then no BS continental shelf, that the water is this dark blue.
Yeah.
So, and listen, that's when it's real, man. You're over the deepest part of the ocean. You better have all your what in one sock, because if one thing goes wrong in this ship, you're gonna have freaking problems. I've been in the North Atlantic where the color of the ocean is the exact same color of the sky, and you realize that Mother Nature could just swallow you in 2 seconds if she wanted to, right? And it gives you this deep, and I'm a kid from the desert, right? But this deep, profound respect for the ocean and what it does. You see dolphins, dolphins will swim at the bow of our ships, and they're just cruising along for the ride. They're having a good time. back in the day, we don't do it anymore. When you used to dump trash, like food trash off the back and stuff, you'd see sharks, bro. Sharks just like cruising around behind you, coming up, taking, and they're like all orderly. They're all polite to each other. Like they're taking turns coming up and grabbing some chicken or whatever they're grabbing. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Seiko argument was low hanging fruit because this is very well thought out. It's well thought out, and not that the Seiko one's not, but they're just like shotgunning you occasionally. Hey, here's this one, and it's for a good cause. But I think this is, if you are like Cody, an Omega, fan, and then you also happen to be a Seamaster fan, and let's say that you like a specific version of the Seamaster, and you wanted a fun Seamaster. Well, guess what? Now you have a fun Seamaster. And there's a lot of, like you said, Alex, the argument of like, well, they didn't really change anything. Well, they really did.
Yeah.
They really did change something. And it just, I think, gives a nice nod to the ocean. And we'll scroll down through so we can talk about each one if you want. And the case back will pop up on the first one. So I think you're right, Cody. That case back is freaking sweet.
Yep, it is. Oh, man, they really. I love it. Like my Necton it's got the little submersible on the back of it, and when I saw the case back of these, I was like, man, that is what makes it special.
Look at that.
Yep.
It is really freaking cool, man. And Alex brought up a good part about the quality. I mean, obviously it's a photograph, but the quality of the engraving, Alex.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. You can see the difference on the pattern in the back. I guess the sky with the rest of the image.
Yeah,
that thing looks good, man. That thing looks like it's gonna be nice.
Oh, it's freaking Neptune, man. He don't F around, bro. He's the third brother. That's why he's got the trident. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Zeus has got the bolt. Yeah. Come on. It's man. Let me tell you something. I know Omega is a great watch company. I mean, obviously, you learn that like in the first 20 minutes you're a watch enthusiast, right?
Yeah.
This made me open my eyes up. And I'm like, okay, like maybe this is the road I need to go down for like my ultimate fun blue watch. But I know which one I would want. But this is the Aquaterra.
Yeah.
I haven't had a whole lot of experience with Aquaterra. Have you guys had any experiences with the Aquaterra?
So I have looked at them, and I like them, but I would rather go the Seamaster 300 or the 300M, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the I don't know. It feels like a little
real
bit
quick,
too dressy.
Alex, sorry to interrupt. It's Poseidon.
Yeah, Poseidon.
Yeah, because it's the Greek. It's the Greek and the Roman difference.
yeah. It is Poseidon. Yeah. It's I feel like that one feels a little too dressy for me.
But that World Timers, look at the dial.
Yeah, we had a whole 15-minute conversation about this thing. Before we even hopped on, we were just shooting the stuff about it, and I'll pull the picture up for everyone to see. But I was telling Alex, like, there's so many components on this dial that any other time I would be like, that's really kitschy, or it's too busy, or it's not done the right way. Like looking down from the North Pole, the daytime, nighttime part of that. I mean, just the world time stuff on the outside. And I told Alex, I'm like, man, they really, really, really tied it cohesively together. And the texture on the land masses, I mean, even the texture in the water, that looks like real wave action. It looks like water.
Yep.
It's nuts, man. It's just oh yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna sit over and just breathe heavy for a little while.
Oh yeah, it's.
Oh,
there's a 300. It's.
Yeah, the detail on that dial for the World Timer is insane, and it retains legibility. Even though it has all those things, it retains legibility, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's pretty snazzy, man. Yeah. There you go. The case back.
The case back.
Yeah.
All
300.
Right. Yeah. I realize if you click the big picture and move right to left, it goes through the different models instead of the specific model.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Simple, elegant.
Yep. I agree. I agree.
That's
Yeah.
a sandwich style.
It is.
Okay.
It is. And it, like for those people that don't know what a sandwich dial is, imagine two dials. The one on top has cutouts, the one on the bottom has the loom. And the cutouts allow the loom to come out. Easy to explain.
Yeah. adds more legibility too, because that depth your eyes are designed to pick up.
Pick it up.
Depth, so your depth perception pick up.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oof.
Alex,
So
yeah, go ahead, Cody. You go first.
Yeah. So what I love about this is they went away from the traditional glossy ceramic surfaces that are on the 300M currently. Yeah. This one is a matte granular texture looking like. Mm-hmm. It's just oof. I mean,
yeah,
that's a great point, man.
You're still getting a ceramic bezel insert, but man,
yeah.
I love
that's
how
a great point. I didn't even pick up the
glossy.
lack of slickness. Yeah, the lack of slickness.
Yeah.
That's really that's what's cool about you guys having more experience with it. You guys bring up things that I don't really notice right away at first glance, But it is. It's just like matte goodness.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I love the case shape. This case shape's always been. And I was telling Alex earlier, I normally do not like that wave pattern dial. I don't like it because to me it looks like fake water, right? But with this fume effect, I dig it.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, I really dig that. I dig the depth of the dial because now it's not a 2-dimensional dial, it's a 3-dimensional dial with 2-dimensional elements, and then those indices are the applied indices, and they're raised.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much depth to what is not a very, and then the silver, I know that's not a chap. Well, I mean, I guess it is a chapter ring, but that adds so much depth to what isn't a very deep dial, case design. I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So this one's your favorite, Cody, you said?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love 300Ms. I think it's the do it all watch. You can dress it up, dress it down, comes on a rubber strap, you can wear it in the boardroom, briefings, take it on vacation with you, and like it's 300M is, if you were going to have a 1, 2 watch, 3 watch collection, this definitely must be in that collection.
Yeah.
They got that date wheel right too. The color of the date wheel blends in with the color of that blue fade at the bottom.
Blue,
Yep. Yeah. They nailed that one. So Cody, we were talking about it earlier. What's your take on the helium escape valve?
I think it's a signature Omega 300M aspect. Obviously, there's a lot of manufacturers these days that don't even use helium escape valves just because it's not needed with modern technology. But it's like the Rolex and the Cyclops, right?
Yeah.
You can get an Omega Seamaster 300 without that helium escape valve, or you can get the 300M with helium escape valve. It's that signature that they will always use because that's what they use, and it looks incredible. I have no issues with it because it's part of the 300M heritage, history, lineage. I don't want them to get rid of it. That's why they have that's why they created the Ploprof. Let's create a watch that can go deeper without a helium escape valve. Because it's I love the helium escape valve.
Awesomeness. I dig this watch, and I like I don't ever have a problem with a helium escape valve because I'm never going to need it.
No.
So I just think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool little thing.
Yeah, it's like you guys were saying, it's a design thing. Like I always say, let's think we're Omega, right? The problem that they have is if they say we're going to get rid of the helium escape valve, what are people going to say? They're copying Rolex.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be more like Rolex.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you
yeah,
don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a design thing that people identify with the 300M, and if you don't like it, go get the 300.
Yeah, it's a no-win
That's it.
situation. If you're being
'Cause,
honest.
you know, it's a no-win situation for them. So
this is, oh man, this is my favorite.
That's it's beautiful. I know that.
Yeah.
I've not personally put on a Planet Ocean.
Yeah.
Tony, I know, just picked up a Planet Ocean.
Yeah, he did. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves his. But he's got, you know, massive wrists, much bigger than mine. So
he's like Jason.
He can fit it. I can't, but
I tried one on when I was picking up my link I needed for my Grand Seiko.
Yeah.
Lady was like, "Hey, you want to walk around and try some stuff on?" I'm like, "Oh, sure. That's always helpful."
For them it is.
So I went and I realized some stuff in that interesting thing, but I put on a Planet Ocean. I was like, man, this is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
The wrong thing to do. It is such a slab of modern awesome. I can't compare to, you know, there's other stuff that it's weird. It's just like modern. It's like you put it on, it's like this is the proper current iteration of what this thing should be right here, right now. You know, it's just really, really good. We were talking, Cody, about a shout out to Eric at Rico's Watches podcast. We were talking about how if you were Canadian and you were wearing your tuxedo, how this denim gradient on the dial would be the perfect je ne sais quoi for your Canadian tuxedo.
Old denim.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a winner. It's too big for my wrist, sadly, but nonetheless I love it, and I'm a huge fan of basically all Omegas. But for this 75th one, they're keeping it with the blue. It's case back. It's just like you said. I love how they're going from 100 meters, 150 to the ultra deep.
600 meters, and I like the Planet Ocean. Like you guys were saying, it's a little too big, but the Planet Ocean is very utilitarian feeling. Like even the change on how they do the bezel, is very utilitarian. But this one is I love this one. The color that they gave.
That, and I love how they brought back the monoblock case that the original Ploprof used. So I love that they brought that back. They didn't change it. They just added the colorway, the case back. You still get, it's Metis now, and it's it's just
and it's nice how this case back is different from the ones above. From the other ones. It looks really good.
Yeah, much more user friendly. Whatever you're doing at that depth in real life, they just have the flat. Obviously, it's monoblock, but they could have still done some.
Oh, for sure. I know. When I was in Connecticut at Armstrong Rockwell Jewelry and Fine Watches, Al's an amazing guy. He knows who, and he was double wristing a old school Ploprof with an amazing IWC that had perpetual calendar, perpetual moon phase. But
that guy was ready for anything.
Ploprof is it's just it was beautiful. I was like, man, this is, for what it was when it came out, is truly spectacular. And then my buddy Schmidt, he's got one, and he rocks it every day, and they're big, they're clunky, but that's what made them awesome when they were first released, and that's what makes this awesome, is because they didn't change anything.
Yeah, this is one of those watches I've always felt is, people like to toss around the term one watch collection, but I feel like as wacky as this thing is, obviously capable, it demands of you. You wear me every freaking day, no matter what it is you're doing, because like if you were in a boardroom and you looked across the way and there was some person there and they're wearing a Ploprof, and you look at it, you're like, that's Ploprof. What the hell's going on? and it's like a
I
little
mean,
beat up, right?
it's a massive watch, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Formidable. This
If-
person came to do business.
Yep. I mean, it's almost 16 millimeters thick. You know, it's 55 by 45. I think it's what it measured.
Yeah.
It's massive, but man, that will never fail at all.
If I had this, I would wear it on the outside of my sleeve, like some of the people used to be doing. I would just wear it on the outside of my dress shirt. Like, deal with it. Everyone's staring at me. I'm like, I don't care what you guys think.
If someone walks inside the boardroom or the office with this every day, you'll probably feel like this guy's coming in ready to beat up whoever disagrees with his ideas.
Or they might save your life in a pinch. Like if there was a fire or, like they'll know the escape route. I mean, I know the escape route, but them just saying.
Yeah.
Then we come to.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Bro, this
dial is incredible.
That watch is incredible.
Yeah.
Because I've heard nothing but great things about the Ultra Deep. For as big as it is, it's very wearable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my buddy T, he's a submariner, right? And interesting. Anyways, he's a submariner. His dad was a submarine CO. Grandfather was a submarine CO. These, they're from a family of submariners. And so when he got into watches, and I said, hey, Omega released this Ultra Deep. Dude, he lost it. He's like, that is freaking insane. So the other day, like I sent him this picture. I was like, yo, they released this new summer blue lineup. And he saw that dial and he was like, oh my God. I was like, I know, man.
But
like,
do you want to know a fun fact about what makes this dial more special versus the ProPlof 600 meter or Planet Ocean and 300M?
Yes, Cody, why don't you tell us?
So I will. So from Omega, they say that the dial on the Ultra Deep is a direct representation from the bottom of the Challenger Deep, which is the deepest point in the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
And that's from Omega, because this is where that watch, not this watch specifically, obviously, but the Ultra Deep, that's what they strapped it on the outside of the submersible. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah. Dude, it's so
they just that's just one. Who would have thought, like, hey, let's just put this little etching here and it will pop when it's hit with UV light, and it's just one of those little things that makes it truly special and remarkable. It's like a true if you know.
Yeah. This is like the reverse of that meme where they throw the guy out the boardroom window.
Yeah.
This meme would be, he's like, hey, why don't we do a blue light Ultra Deep thing, Easter egg on the dial, and instead of them throwing him out the window, they're all like throwing him up in the air.
Yeah. I would tell you, if you notice, even the loom is darker towards the corners of the numbers.
Yeah.
So it to me, it's like a lot of people say they want a conversation starter. This is a conversation starter, regardless of where you're at, regardless of what you're using the watch for, who you're around. It doesn't matter. Like the fact that you can say you want to see something cool, and then after they are in awe of the dial, then you show them the Mariana Trench edging around it.
Well, not just that. Going back to the dial and the texture of the dial, it's also then coated with liquid enamel.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
What's crazy? You see that it gives the impression that the dial comes from the top and then it bumps up. Like it gives the impression of an actual changing in elevation.
Yeah, to me it looks like it goes like this.
Yeah.
That's where it's that representation of the Challenger Deep. And
unfortunately my yard does that too, so I gotta get some grading done.
But like what they did with this to have it truly reflect what they saw down there from the sonar to it's just
man, I really miss the ocean sometimes, man. not enough
is
to ever go back. I mean, it's hard to explain. Like I've always joked around that the only two things I miss about the Navy are waking up to breakfast made every morning, and then getting a chance to go outside before everybody else wakes up, and just kind of like realizing that you're probably somewhere where not a whole lot of people have been before ever. And it's just they, because you see a lot of companies try to capture the ocean or capture something like aviation or field watches for like the ground pounding military and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
they miss it by miles, but this one doesn't.
What's the MSRP on a deep sea dweller?
Ooh, good question. Huh?
Dang, that's a great question. I'm about to look
Like
it up.
if you were to buy it from a Rolex AD boutique, what do they list them for? Not with markup, just what does Rolex say that the watches are worth? I wonder.
I'm about to look it up right now. The deep sea is 16. Well, that's not Rolex, my bad. Let's see.
Of course, they don't give you the.
Man, they don't give you no price.
Yeah, they don't give you. They'll let you configure it though.
Yeah.
Because that's just a regular sea dweller.
Yeah. Rolex Deep Sea Challenge. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then 25,950.
25,950, right?
Yep.
So this
it's 13,000.
13,000. The regular ultra deep is I think 12,500, 12,700, right? So you could literally get almost two of these
for the price of
for the price of one sea dweller.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this hands down is far better looking and far more capable, and just my opinion. Yes, I'm very biased towards Omega versus Rolex, but in my opinion, like look at what you get on the dial, that super cool etching that they did. Omega was here.
You know what else it is, Cody? It's a story on your wrist too.
Yeah,
like it's not just a professional submariner, right? So the sea dweller, and I guess by proxy the sea dweller,
it falls under
it's just a more capable submariner essentially, right? This is a freaking story on your wrist, and they're not charging you 14% or 14 times more than what the original version was for that story.
Let's see. I think the titanium one is a little bit more, but I'm sorry, like this is far better looking.
Yeah.
Man, it's just beautiful. That's all I can say is it's just like look at that. Omega was here.
Yeah.
I know, and I like
it showing your face like we were there.
And I'll call it right now. We'll find out about this later, unless someone else already knows. I bet you that's someone's actual handwriting in the company.
Oh, for sure.
That's someone's note that they wrote on a piece of paper. Yeah. And they're like, you know what, Sally, we're going to use your handwriting on this thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, no, it's
they're all winners.
Yeah.
I want the 300M though. I do. I just love 300Ms.
Yeah.
I know which one I want, but yes.
Yeah. It's they're, to me, they're all winners. To me, they executed it well. Sure. If I can agree that the buildup was, for some people, maybe they expected something different. But I'll tell you that as soon as the buildup of the commercials started, and you could connect that something like this was going to come out when they're talking about we're going to do it in Mykonos, and Mykonos is known for this type of color in their water, this type of blue that they used to play around with everything. So you could deduct that this was going to come out, but I guess that's a lot of homework for some people. But
it goes back to Omega really doing their homework and tying in every single model of the Seamaster lineup together.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it truly special. Is it's not just going to be like
Well, it's
they're
crazy
tying in everything.
because you know what this Seamaster roll time is. That blue is the ocean from the sky.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're looking down through the clouds. It's I mean, come on, man. Like these little touches, right? Like little things that I don't know. It's just they're all winners for me, but I know which one. I want
home run.
Yeah.
Home run.
Canadian tuxedo for me, man. I'm gonna go out and buy some. I'm gonna go buy some jeans. I'm gonna buy a chambray shirt. Yeah, it's gonna be on.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So wins for everybody, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, because Atlanta they redid their Omega boutique. So
nice.
Next time I'm in Atlanta, I will have to go and see what they have in there. And uniform. I won't put my uniform on. I don't wear a uniform anymore.
Hey, I just wanted to state real quick, Cody, how good the retirement hair is looking on you.
Yeah.
It's honestly it wasn't even when I was in, this was kind of my hair.
I just noticed that when you took your hat off, it just sprang to life. It was like, I'm here.
I can't
hair
take
is
my
very
hair
important to me. Like, especially being in soft for almost a decade. You can have hair and be very professional and talk to people.
Yeah.
And plus, I didn't really care about 670-1 ever.
I don't have any hair, so
that's stupid.
It is.
And I got shit on it for all the time when I was in sergeant major, colonel. You need a haircut, maybe.
Yeah,
but I won't get one.
Yeah,
nothing would happen.
You can't make me.
Yeah.
You can say I have to, but no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, retirement life is good.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for us today. I think that was we planned to get together and choose a topic, and then the next day they release all these.
It's like, well,
that's it.
Thank you, Omega.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
That's how you know Omega cares about watch enthusiasts.
Yeah. They care about us. They care about us.
Well, but you actually think about it, but they do, because they want you wearing an Omega. Like they want you shopping at boutiques, 80s. Like they're not afraid to sell to anyone.
Yeah.
They're not be like, well, you don't meet the criteria. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you want this Planet Ocean? Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know you want a blue watch. I mean, let's just break this down to like the bare necessities, right?
Yeah.
Usually most people, the first watch they buy when they get in there, right, is either a black watch or a blue watch.
Yeah.
And then you branch out, right?
Yeah.
And if let's say you have some blue watch that you settled on, but you've had experience with Omega and they release this, you're like, oh man, now I'm gonna go get my blue watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, because even the green is not really green, and I've heard nothing but beautiful things about the way it actually looks. I still want your great white, Alex. I think that's to me that's a perfect summer watch.
The green does look black in a lot of light. It does look black. It's a very deep, rich green. I think it's the perfect green for a utility tool.
I'm even a huge fan of the gray 300M, because that is even more low key. Like, oh, that's gray. That's ugly. Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely a good hit. So, yeah.
That's it. You want to take us out, Alex?
Yeah. So, and like we always say, we're brought to you by AWWC, a great organization that, helps LEOs, first responders, military members. And they utilize the drop culture environment to fund those events, those activities, the help that they provide for everyone. So check out their page, go get you a cool hat, a cool t-shirt, a cool flag, some cool straps. I would tell you that for the straps, you got to work. You got to have fast fingers. You got to have some fast fingers, or stay on top
I
of
know
it.
we did just update the quantities for our Decon 2 straps.
Yep.
So if you wear a Garmin or an Apple, we got them for those two.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a great all around strap, man. I'll tell you right now, especially here in Virginia, where it's like you walk out your door and like it's already dripping down your back.
Oh, dude,
that's just a great strap, man, for like exercise and just warm weather and stuff. It's
because the elasticity to it, like when you're working out, you work out with any watch, you put that strap on it, the elasticity to it that typically you don't get with rubber. You're gonna get it a lot. It's comfortable to wear whatever exercise you're doing, so it's pretty cool. And you have anything you want to add to that, Cody?
So the last Decon 2s are on the website now. We're waiting for the final touches to happen for our Decon 3, and then we will be releasing those, I think, sometime this fall, perhaps. Yeah, fall. If you see us at Wind Up in New York City, I'll be there. We will be having some swag with us. Sadly, Chicago, I think, is in like 2 weeks, so won't be there. We'll be in New York City. We'll have swag with us. So if you see us, you want a sticker or a hat or a shirt, you never know what we'll give you. But check us out. We're always updating and adding things. Alex, our CEO, is nonstop designing new stuff for us. So check us out.
Man, look at that strap.
Yep.
That picture is beautiful. Yeah. So check them out. They do a lot of help. Without the red tape. So bureaucracy of typical organizations. So check them out. Make sure you give them a follow. Stay on top of what they're releasing, because sometimes it will come up pretty fast. So and out of the blue. So stay on top. Support them. And that's all I got. Everyone enjoy their weekend.
Have a good one.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Use your tools. Use them.
Use them.